Welcome back, everybody, to Beyond the Throne, Episode 6. We are here to talk about Episode 6 of Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. I'm your host, Hunter Chambliss. I'm joined by my co-host, Zaddeus, Z-Man Smith. How's it going, man?
Doing well, good sir, going well. And yes, let's make sure I am Zaddeus, Ray Harwin, and Dana forever. Stan. I should have put Stan, I forgot that. But yeah. I'm doing good, man. You know, I gotta change up the little heading every week.
I'm about to start doing that, but I'm not clever enough to come up with my own, so...
Sure you are, man. It was literally
I was gonna put Hunter, Burn Baby, Burn, Chambliss, and I was like, that might be too far.
Yo, everybody... That's hilarious. Everybody that's a fan of the show, we would have got it. It would have been the other people like, oh no, I can't believe he went there. And that would have been hilarious.
I should have done it.
Yeah, you
but,
should.
But yes, we are talking about episode 6 of House of the Dragon, which is set 10 years after the events of the last episode, episode 5, aka the Green Wedding. A lot of things to talk about, Z. So yeah, I don't want to be here for 2 hours, and we definitely could be. So
especially the last night's episode, yeah.
Yeah. Let's get into the opening of the show. We open up 10 years have passed, and Rhaenyra, now played by Emma D'Arcy. Is that how you say her last name?
I think so. That's how I would pronounce this, yeah.
Okay. So birth to her third son, who how do you say this dude's name? Is it Laenor?
Oh yeah, it's Laenor and
Laenor.
Yeah, Laenor.
He names the son Joffrey. Why would you do this, sir?
And right quick, I literally posted about this on Facebook yesterday. I said, damn it, I already have to change something I said last week, because last week I said vehemently, if you name your kid Joffrey, the guy has to die. If you're named Joffrey, you had to die in Game of Thrones. I don't want that to happen now. Like,
no.
Maybe we can have 1 out of 3 good Joffreys. I'll take that. 1 out of 3.
It's the one good one.
Yeah,
exactly. The one good one.
I want him to live. I'd like to see this Joffrey do good things with his life, even though don't know how long that's going to last. But yeah.
Yeah, so Laenor names him Joffrey after the Night of Kisses, Joffrey Lonmouth. Her other sons are named Jacaerys, and I'm going to butcher this. Lucrece?
You see, I'm glad I didn't even pick up on it. Like, I didn't know. I know they were calling him. I think they did it just for us, and because they were calling him Jace and Luke. Like,
yeah, so Jace and Luke. Yeah, so
but
again, thanks story.
Jace Viserys.
Yeah, so thanks story who helped me tons. Thank you, man. I try not to steal everything from you, but you break it down so good, even I understand it. He gave me their full name, so I'm just gonna call him Jason Luke because that's what the show does, and I cannot say those names again. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just going Jace, Luke, and then the other kids, Allison kids, are pretty easy to know.
Yeah. So speaking of Allison, we meet Allison Hightower, now played by Olivia Cooke, who was in Ready Player One, and my God, she is gorgeous. Can we just get that out of the way right now?
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful.
I'll say she's 100% gorgeous. I just want to say that first of all before I compare her to Fiona for the rest of the episode. Look, I mean, think about like literally red hair, green, just like yo. You cannot tell me they did not realize this when they were filming.
Oh my God! So yes, Allison Hightower, now played by Olivia Cooke, demands to see Rhaenyra's son, to see if it has the features of Laenor, which he does not. is believed that Harwin Strong is the father of Jakaris and Luke. I don't know why I called him his full name and then called the other one Luke, but you know what?
Yeah,
Screw it.
just go with it.
And the new baby, Joffrey. Harwin is the one who saves Rhaenyra during last episode's brawl. Very, very interesting to see. He was the one who picked
That's
her up
true.
and
I
ran
forgot
with
about
her.
that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yes.
and then as a matter of fact, he's also the one that she saw. You remember in like when her and Damon were roaming the streets, in episode 4. He was the knight that she bumped into.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know
I
that.
I'm pretty positive that was him because he's like, you know, when he's like princess, and he's like, you get only get away with this once, boy, or something. But he let her go that night. So
Okay.
yeah, so
So,
they go back.
yeah, go way back apparently. So then we cut to inside the dragon pit for the first time, which is the first time in this season that we've seen. Like the first episode opens up with Rhaenyra, I believe, outside the dragon pit, but we never go into it.
Exactly. Just she was pretty much arriving at the airport. Like she didn't go inside the airport. She was just her plane was landing in the states.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and we meet an older Aegon II, which I believe Aegon might be 14 or 15 at this time. This guy, man.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there next, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So we
I
meet
know.
Aegon II and his brother Aemond, who are both sons of Alicent and King Viserys. Jace and Aegon tease Aemond by giving him a pig instead of a dragon. I died laughing.
I feel bad for homeboy because you can obviously tell he's hurting, and then part of me's not sure where he's gonna land because he can either be a good boy or he could be going like completely sociopathic ways, depending
Mm-hmm.
on and again I know nothing about the Aemon Targaryen because I think it's Aemon with a D. So
Yeah, with a D at the end.
I have no idea if he's gonna be a good Targaryen or a bad Targaryen, but I
The
just don't think
50-50 coin.
exactly. I don't think teasing him is the way to push him to the to the good side. Even though there are things that he seemed like he's one of the more docile ones for now.
Yeah. Um. So I believe after that he tries to go into the dragon pit itself and gets scared off when he meets a dragon of all things. I'm like, come on, kid.
Well, I know what you mean, but I was wondering. It was actually like probably I guess like the mama dragon or the big dragon. I'm thinking that was Cyrax. I think I don't know though.
Was it really? It could
Yeah,
be.
because that's the only dragon besides Aegon. Well, we haven't met Aegon's dragon yet. We this dragon we met here was Vermax, which was going to be Jace's Jace's
Yeah.
dragon. And I don't think Luke has one yet. And I don't know if Luke has one, but I know Aemon doesn't have one yet for sure.
Yeah, Aemon doesn't have one, and Daemon's other daughter, I'm not sure what her name is, doesn't have
Yeah,
one either.
that's true because we didn't find out what her name is. We found out what his oldest daughter's name was, but not the youngest one. So I'm
Man,
like, wow.
man, even the show don't care about her. Her father doesn't care about her, and the show don't care about her.
Right, give this girl a name, please.
So, speaking of seeing a lot of Aegon Targaryen, we just cut to a random. Parents, close your kids' ears, please. Aegon is masturbating outside a window for some reason.
Aegon is having the time of his life.
My, my man is free balling everything.
Yeah, like, and my thing, but interesting enough, the first thing I thought about, like, I'm like, bruh, are you really pulling a Homelander on Game of Thrones right now? If you've seen the boys, you know what I'm talking about. But like, bruh, really? But then the second thing that came to my mind, like that window looks kind of familiar. I'm like, is that the same window that in
That
almost
that
200 years, Tommy goes flying out
that
of?
Tom goes flying down.
I think so. I couldn't be
That
wrong
window
about
has seen some action.
it. Right? It's either a great source of pleasure or a great source of pain. There's no in between.
What is this, Hellraiser? You get pleasure and pain?
Either or. One of the two. But yeah,
Oh my!
just having the time of his life, and then just only to get interrupted by his mom.
Oh, we've all been there. We have all been there,
I,
homeboy.
I, I have no idea what you're talking about.
So yes, he gets confronted by Allison, who tells him that Rhaenyra, if Rhaenyra takes the crown, she will kill him and his siblings to strengthen the crown.
Yeah, this was a kind of a sad moment. I don't know if sad's the right word to use. It's a very, well, I'll say telling moment because I saw so much of Otto and Allison right here.
Yeah,
Like Aegon, I don't think Aegon gets too flying
he,
muffins fucks about becoming
he
king.
even says it. He goes,
Yeah,
"So what?"
Aegon literally has one thing on his mind. You see it later when he's looking at the lady. So like that's where his
To be
mind is at
fair,
right now.
he he's probably what 13 or 14.
Yeah,
That is peak
that's
horniness for
normal.
anybody.
That's normal. Like I have no problems with that. Like he's thinking about bigger things. Literally, that's what he wants. He wants a woman. That's what he wants. And like the idea that Allison is literally doing the same thing that her dad was doing to her. Like even though yes, she never could be queen or well she her dad I was really trying to force her to step up and like form a relationship with Viserys. And
Yeah,
even though in her case she didn't know that she was going to be queen, I think she was still kind of innocent and naive about what was going on with her father. But she's definitely trying to use scare tactics to have Aegon become king and for him to, I guess, get his challenge for his right. And
yep,
unfortunately, I know I said this last episode when Otto mentioned to Allison that if that Rhaenyra could kill off her kids if she ever feels challenged. I
yeah.
don't think Rhaenyra would do that anymore. The Rhaenyra I met this episode, I don't think she would do that just because again, I think this Rhaenyra and even last week's Rhaenyra, she doesn't give a care if the kingdom wants her to be queen or not. In her mind, she's gonna be queen no matter what. So I don't
Yeah.
necessarily think she would kill off her brothers. Could
I
be
don't
wrong though.
either. And to me, this looks like the turn of Allison as a villain
Oh yeah.
because it seems like she is trying to put fear in the name
Mm-hmm.
where people fear her instead of what I think Allison or what
Rhaenyra.
am I trying to yeah, I'm trying to think of how to word this correctly.
Okay.
Allison is trying to make Rhaenyra seem more fearful to everybody so that maybe they'll turn the backs on her. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, I think she's very. She's maybe this is not the right word, but she's gaslighting Rhaenyra a lot. I could be wrong about that too, but I know I see what you're going. She's making people scared of Rhaenyra and what she could do to get her way and stuff.
Yeah.
To
So
get
we cut to Pintos where we meet Damon and his wife. Is it Lena? Lena
yeah
Valerian?
yeah. I wasn't sure if it was Lena or if it was Lena, but it's Lena because I just heard
Lena.
him say her name again a couple minutes ago. But yeah.
Yeah. Which again, I love this pairing.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous how I again you see in the name I was a fan of these two like really I was a fan of them last episode and like how they like how their wit was just how they were so witty with each other
Yeah.
and they were definitely the same way in this episode with one particular line but we'll get there but they I feel like they had a good relationship even though they could work on their communication skills a little bit but it just amazes me how like time like changes things. Like I'm completely for this now, but if we would have changed, yeah, I couldn't help but think like, isn't this the same girl that we saw was 12 years old earlier in the season? Like, I'm like okay, but that was technically 14 years from then. So
So
and
she's what 24 at this time. 23,
yeah,
24.
yeah, about 20. Well, she was 12 then, so about 13. So she's about either 25, 26, I think now.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
as we see, they have two daughters. What was the oldest daughter's name?
her name was Bela.
Bela.
Yeah,
Um, she also has a younger daughter, and she's also pregnant with another child.
yeah. who the creators have not given her name yet. Oh well, there's two kids we have no name that we have no name.
So as they ride in on dragons, they are guests of Prince Rego, who will ask them to be permanent guests in exchange for protection.
Yeah, I thought that was a very interesting moment in the episode. Like, because I first of all I didn't know his name until I think Lena had mentioned it later, like when they were at the table. I was
Yeah,
like wondering what were they there for, but like he lets it out that the triarchy has pretty much came back with a vengeance after. I mean, I guess it has been 10 years, and if King Viserys and nobody in Westeros has really protected the Stepstones, it's pretty much let the open season for it.
yeah. Give me 1 second. I gotta write something down real quick.
Oh, no problem, no problem. But yeah, I
I,
just thought
I missed
that.
something in my notes.
Oh, really? Is it in this thing?
No, it's towards the end. So when we get there, we can talk about it.
Okay, okay.
Um, so then we cut into the courtyard with the boys are training with the asshole himself, Christian Cole. I
I
hate
have
this dude.
I have a shit list I'm going to say at the end of the episode. I've created a personal shit list that I'm going to change from week to week from now on. But it's going to be just three people a week. And I can tell you right now, spoiler alert, Kristen is pretty high. Pretty
Dude,
high.
just because like he couldn't get married to Rhaenyra, he's calling her a bitch. He's targeting her son.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the fact that at this scene where he's training the boys in the courtyard. Well, technically he's only training Aegon and Aemon. He could give two flying F's about Jace and Luke. He just
Yeah.
didn't be there. But it was a scene earlier in the episode when he was walking Allison out walking with Allison when I forgot where she was coming from. I think maybe she was coming from the king's room after
The room, yeah.
after he had mentioned his whole talk about the
By
horses
the
and the
way,
silver horse.
what a bitch move on Allison's part. Like forcing Rhaenyra after giving birth to walk up those stairs just to be like, "Oh, honey, you shouldn't be walking after that. You
Well,
asked to see me."
yeah, well, no, she asked to see the baby, which I'm glad that Rhaenyra decided to go with her because who knows? I that's the unfortunate thing. I have no idea what Allison would have done to that kid if Rhaenyra and Laena wasn't there with her.
Dude, the amount of pain she was in, can you just imagine? Like, I can't imagine it.
Hell no,
Like,
not at all.
you,
Wait, no,
you
actually,
literally
I
saw
could,
blood dribble down as she was walking up the stairs.
yeah, I mean, I guess I guess it probably feels kind of like taking a lance in the shoulder, similar pain, but at least according to Laena. But yeah, I honestly I could have no idea. Like she had just gave birth, and then we even see the afterbirth and stuff. Like, oh my gosh, she's not done. I was thinking that she was about to have a
Game
kid.
of Thrones makes childbirth seem so much more painful than I can ever
Yep.
imagine.
Exactly. So, and then I'm sure there's some mom out there saying, it's a breeze.
Yeah.
But they might not be saying that. I may be going too far on that, but they're over exaggerating. But
Bless all you women for being able to do all that.
exactly, I couldn't do it. Like I probably would have pulled a Lane at the end at some point in this episode, even though she did it for a completely different reason. But we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's
okay,
just the
go
fact
ahead.
that he called her see you next Tuesday, a spoiled see you next Tuesday. I don't like to say that word, and it's
Yeah.
just because like you little bitch, like you just because you didn't get your way in episode 5. It's been 10 years. It's been
Yeah.
10 years. Get over it. First of all, you're alive. You should have got yourself in the last episode, but you got saved.
He should have been dead for the shit he
Exactly.
pulled.
And if not, Allison has to be the only way he's still that he's
Oh, she
alive
is.
now. Yeah, and then yeah, I mean, and she's probably the only reason why he's a Kingsguard, still a member of the Kingsguard now, because I would think Viserys. Well, if Viserys, I see. Oh, by the way, Viserys is still alive. People like spoiler it. But,
Yeah, he's still alive, and he's missing an arm. I'm like,
yeah,
dude, this is not Monty Python. You can't just lose your body parts and still be alive.
Yeah, his left side of his body is like in bad shape. But it's just that I just hate how he I understand how upset he was in the last episode, but to take that and keep hold on to that 10 years later and to let that fester where you're just so angry at her, you're being a little bitch. I have no better word for it. He's being a
Mm-hmm.
bitch. Like I strongly dislike this guy right now. And bravo to I think his name.
Z-Man has been cussing more than in this episode than any other episodes. I like it.
Exactly, and I blame Fabian Franco, and I gotta say, I think that's his name, but he's doing a great job because I hate you right now. Number one, I'm just gonna spoil that right now. He's already at number one on my shit list, but yeah,
Me too. He is a complete asshole, and I'm so glad when he gets his ass kicked in this scene. Oh my god.
I liked it, but then again, at the same time, I hate it because that's exactly what he wanted. Because he was trying to go in, and we know that if he wanted to defend himself, he most likely could have. Now, I'm not saying that Harlan Strong isn't a strong, no pun intended, a strong guy, but it could have been a much fairer fight. But he got what he wanted. He wanted
I
to
don't think so
get revenge
because
from Harlan.
the the father pride in him kicks in, and there's nothing stopping that shit.
Whoa, no, well, no, I'm just saying because Homeboy is actually skilled in like sword play and like fight. I feel like he could
Yeah,
have dodged it. He
yeah,
could
but
have.
see, I think Cole is better when it comes to sword play, like sword on sword. But I think Armstrong could kick his ass in hand to hand.
Possibly, but again, I just think I'm just he want that's what he wanted. He got what he wanted, which eventually led to him being dismissed from the Lord Commander of the City Watch because that's where Harwin was at that moment.
Yeah, so uh, in the courtyard, in order to get back at Renera, Cole has Aegon fight. I believe it's Jace, correct? Because it's the
Yeah,
two oldest.
yeah, it's Jace. Yeah, the two firstborn sons.
Yeah, so when Cole gives a remark about Harwin being the boy's father, he snaps and beats the shit out of Cole. I love it, but yeah, again, it was premeditated.
Yeah, bad thing is it was a domino or it was a snowball that had later horrible consequences. It was
Yeah,
the first domino of something that came out so led to something horrible happening. But
yeah. So then we cut to a council meeting about the battle between the Blackwoods and the Brackens. Love that because remember in I believe it was episode 4, episode 5, the
yeah,
beginning.
four. It was episode 4. Yeah,
Yeah, when Renera has been courting the little kid.
Mhm.
I believe he is a Blackwood.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and the
Yeah,
person that he killed was a kraken. Or was it kraken or a
Bracken.
kraken? Bracken.
Bracken.
Yeah, and
So
they have not let that shit go. 15 years
the
later.
the war is still going. Um, Renera and Alicent fight over what should have been done at the Stepstones. Renera thinks that they should have sent men and armies to protect them. Alicent says the money won't allow it, which is complete bullshit. You are the queen. You have endless money.
Oh well, whoa, yeah. They, I won't
She
say they have
just
endless
did that despite
because
Renera.
well, I will say yes, but then at the same time, I know that the small council has a master of coin, so I just don't know who it is. So if the finances wouldn't allow it, okay. But then I do think it was just because it was Rhaenyra was in the room. They just had to have these little tips with each other, like just these
Yeah,
back and forth going with each other.
give me
And then
one
yet
sec.
nobody else would really step up. Even though I know there was a Grand Maester, it was Grand Maester, and I think Master of Ships is now Ty, or it's either
Yeah,
Tylan or
yeah.
Jason. Is it Tylan?
Tywin.
Or no, Tywin is wait, isn't Tywin's Jamie's father? I think
I,
Thailand.
yeah,
Thailand, okay, yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
Town Lannister. I think he's Master of Ships, right? Or is he
Yes,
Master?
he is.
Okay, yeah. And
I
he's
love this scene because, again, I'm a huge fan of just the political intrigue and
mm,
the one-upsmanship of each other. Like, plus you can see how Alicent would reign as queen and how Alicent would reign as queen.
you mean Rhaenyra
Alicent,
hasn't
Oh, did I say Allison twice?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. I'm slightly tired, okay, but
Okay.
you get what I mean. But how they would both reign as queen.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Like Allison is more reserved and more. We can't send people to fight other wars, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And the on the other side, Rhaenyra wants to help where she can.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to send an army to help out, which she probably gets from her father. Her father was always down when he needed to send an army to help out another nation.
Yeah. Even though I do, what do you stand? Which side did you stand on between the two of them? Do you think they
Rhaenyra.
just? Yeah. Okay. Same maybe because I definitely I liked how Rainier had actually. It's like she actually put some thought into it. Like we should have built like a fortress, or he said something else, a fortress or something that
Yeah.
to make sure that nobody could ever take it back from us. We should have had sentries there, make sure that the stepstones were safe. And yet Allison's the one over here. It's like, well, it's that's Damon's war. It wasn't our war. Blah blah blah. Which is interesting because she was the one that told Viserys to send aid to the Stepstones in episode 3.
Yeah.
So, oh, how times have changed.
But because of her beef with
Rhaenyra,
Rhaenyra,
exactly.
it's blinding her. It's what her father is has taught her pretty much. Because
Mm-hmm.
Otto's whole thing and the reason why he was let go of his hand was because he was blinded by the idea of getting, the Iron Throne.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side, Alicent is more blinded by this grudge that she can't let go.
Yeah, she as noble as Allison wants to make her claim seem like she is. She's complete. She's doing this 1,000% out of jealousy, I think, and it's jealousy that Rhaenyra has all the freedom that she wish she had. She's the
Yep.
queen, but she has, besides the power that pulling the strings behind Viserys, kind of, she has no real power, no freedom within the city. I'm sure there's a way she can find out she could have some freedom, but right now, and she even mentions later, she feels like she has nobody on her side at this moment.
And even the fact that this whole feud between Alicent and Rhaenyra started because Alicent lied about being a virgin is so weird to me.
Hmm.
Like,
Well,
I understand it, but to hold a grudge for 15 years over that?
yeah, it's definitely messed up. Like you you should have got over it. Like and I think it's the fact that that she knows Rhaenyra lied about it in the whispering of her father in her ear. Because I think it's the fact that well, if I can't believe Rhaenyra's lied to me. I can't believe she's able to do stuff that I'm not able to do. That how dare she has all
That's
this
what it
freedom.
is.
And then also her father's like saying, well, she's lying to me about this. She betrayed me about this. That means she could betray me by killing my sons, or she may actually want to take out my take out a gun or and my kids to make sure she's the rightful queen. I can't trust her. I have to be one step ahead of her. I think those are conversations that are clearly like consistently going on in her head.
Yeah. So to me, the real like reason this jealousy started is, as you said, it's because Alicent doesn't have the freedom that Rhaenyra has when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to not only she's free to go wherever she wants, but Alicent can't sleep around with anyone she wants.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's probably why she's jealous
That's
because she knows that Laenor and Rhaenyra, they have that bond where it's like you do you, I'll do me, and we'll have this phase. But Alicent knows something's going on, hence
right.
why she wants to see the kids. But she knows
It,
that Leonard doesn't care, and that probably eats her alive.
Exactly, and it was that little snide ass remark earlier in the episode, which is like, "Oh,
Oh,
keep trying. I'm sure you'll get one that looks like you
what
murdered."
a
I'm like, "Oh, you
what a
asshole."
yeah,
Oh,
what a bitch remark, man.
yeah. I'm like, "Oh, that's messed up." You go. he's just gonna say it in his face. But I like how again I like Laner and Rhaenyra's relationship. Like he doesn't let Allison get to him. Like okay, it's like he knew she was gonna say something,
Yeah,
but yeah.
yeah. It's like your least favorite, like wife's aunt, who just keeps saying stuff to you, and you're just like,
Mm,
okay, just roll it
yeah,
off.
exactly. But I did like how this scene ended pretty much. Well, how things ended
Yeah.
at
So
this small
speaking
town.
of, uh, in the same scene, Rhaenyra, in order to protect her image, proposed a marriage for her older son, Jace, and Allison's daughter. Is it Helena?
Helena,
Helena,
Helena, yeah.
which will strengthen both houses as well as Aemond's choice of dragon. Should Cyrex have another badge?
Sorry, I was in My Chemical Romance phase for a little bit, but because yeah, Helena, real ones know what I'm talking about.
Oh, not My
They know what I'm
Chemical
talking.
Romance.
Yeah, that's exactly that's whenever I heard the name, like okay, that makes okay, that's cool, and then it made me think of the song too. But yeah, I like how Rhaenyra thought about this on the quickness, like it's because like I think she was about to let it go, then she just then when she was about to stand up, she's like, wait, I have an idea,
I,
and then
I actually don't think it was a spur of the moment thing. I think
oh
she
yeah, I
thought
think
this
so.
over. I think
That
she
would
thought
make
this over because I think she is slowly becoming like her father in a good way, where she is learning how to play the games 3 steps ahead.
I hope so. I do think she is becoming. I do think in a way she's becoming more regal, and I think it's also it has something to do with her again, her father's blood, and also because of her. I was about to say cousin, but then her husband, because Langner's a smart dude, also,
Yeah.
which we find out with some of his phrases that he comes up with. But I wouldn't be surprised if she thought if this was a premeditated thing. And I knew, I'm glad how she knew. I'm pretty sure she knew Allison wouldn't take it right away, but she threw the offer out there so that way, if she says no, what's the small council going to think? Like, this is such a good move. Why won't you do this?
Plus adding in the Aemon's choice of dragon,
Yeah,
which she must have known that Cyrex is having another batch, because why would she put that out there of if? She may know that another batch is coming, and if so, Aemon, who does not have a dragon right now, who is criticized for not having a dragon, could have his own dragon.
yeah. You know what? I think I just caught on to it because I was wondering like how does dragons and the kids relate? And I know there's a conversation later about it, but because I remember Balon like even before when he was about to be born, they had a dragon head for him, which Damon ends up stealing. And who I think is now Aegon's dragon. I have to go look back on my notes,
Yes,
but I think yeah, just Sunfire, right?
yes.
That's Aegon's dragon. Yeah, Sunfire,
Mm-hmm.
and it was Balon's. And Jace has a dragon, which I guess that means he's. I think that's because he's the second oldest. He's and then I'm guessing. Well, Helena should be older than him, so does Helena have a dragon? I wonder, or
Helena is a very interesting character because the first time we meet her, she's holding some sort of bug.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think it was a centipede. Yeah, she seems like she
Yeah,
was more interested in like learning about that. Like she, to me, it seems like she would like her goal in life is to become like a mace, like a grand maester, or like in Old Town, like where
yeah,
the Citadel. I'm sorry,
yeah.
like to be one of the guardians of the Citadel. Like she seems like a very smart girl, which I thought that was cool to see like a different type of Targaryen because I mean, yeah, she's clearly a Targaryen because all the Targaryen men the children of Targaryen men had white hair.
Yep.
Targaryen or possibly even Valerian. And maybe the brown hair is just a recessive. Maybe the Targaryen genes are a recessive gene. So maybe Rhaenyra's kids just got their fuck. I don't know. There's no way. There was no way to cover that up. But
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Even the king was like, you know what? Just let it go. I don't
Yeah.
care. Just let it go.
I love him, Sarah. He's like he's not into now, but he's like what you're saying. It doesn't matter. And like don't worry about it. But yeah, Alison is just completely consumed by this.
The
Yeah, we
the
forget.
blind of the blind of jealousy is there.
He's played by
Um,
Jones. Exactly.
yes. So we meet back up with Lena, who is trying to give birth, but Damon is told if they try to cut the baby out, there's no way of knowing if the baby would survive. Just harken back to episode 1 with Viserys and his wife. Lena fights up and goes outside to see Vagar, or is it Vagar? Vagar, sorry,
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
and tells him to breathe fire. What's the word? Drakus?
Jakaris. Jakaris.
Jakaris. I will never get these names right, by the way. So
No, it's fine. It's fine. I literally think that's why they decided to call him Jace and Luke earlier, so we wouldn't have to. They did
yeah,
just for you, Hunter. They did just say,
yeah, yeah,
Hunter's
yeah.
gonna be
yeah
talking
like,
about.
let's dumb it down for this man right here.
Just give him the short names. We don't need to give him the big long names anymore. But we're just gonna
Thank
call
you,
him
God.
Jason Luke. But
Thank
this,
God.
I know you were finished with the scene, but I loved how this happened. It goes back to the bond between the dragons and the dragon
The
riders.
dragon did not want to do it.
No, and it kind
Oh,
of
I felt so bad for Vagar.
because it's like whenever she's out there saying Jakara, she's like, what are you talking about? Like,
Where?
and she's like,
Where?
Jakara, and she's like, you mean you? I'm literally talking to the head of a dragon. She's like, wait, you want me to breathe fire on you? What? And he's like, Jakara. I'm like, it's like he's so conflicted. It seems like Vagar so conflicted, and it isn't until the moment where I feel like Lena has like a sense of peace to her, and that she knows she's like she lets out her arms, and she's like it's almost like there's a mental connection between her and the dragon. Like just please,
Just do it.
Jakaris, and then he does it, and
I
well,
felt so bad, man.
I did too. However, I will say this: there was a part of me that was really hoping she was going to pull a Danny and not be burned by the fire. But it was just kind of a hope. I didn't really think that would happen, but it would have been great to see if she would have just got out, if she would have been unburnt and with the baby in hand. Maybe that's how the baby had to be born. But yeah, it was a very sad scene because I mean, again,
Dude,
I like the
Damon
trilogy.
came 1 second later.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then
And
also, is it just me, or did he say no when the doctor told him about the procedure? I thought Damon turned it down, like the opposite
he
of
didn't
me.
say
Like,
anything.
oh, okay,
He didn't say anything. What happened was he was told about it,
mm.
and then it cuts to her walking outside to
to
Vagar.
Vega. Yeah, I thought I saw him shake his head because I was proud of Damon. Like he's actually doing the complete opposite of what his brother did.
Which I love the fact that, again, they did not make Damon the stereotypical villain.
Yeah, no,
You know what I mean? Like of right now of the coin, he is somewhere in the middle. He is not
yeah.
completely good. He's not completely crazy evil either.
Damon is Jason Todd kind of like to put in DC. He's kind of an anti-hero a little bit, or like let me say Red Hood more or less, because like
Yeah.
I think he'll kill for the right reasons, and he'll do some janky stuff on the side. But I think in the heart of hearts right now, I think he would do whatever it takes for a family, kind of.
By the way, I love how this uh, Lena's death ties in to what she said to Damon, where she's like, "I don't want to die an old maid, an
Yeah.
old fat maid. I want a dragon rider's death," and that's what she
Mm.
got. She got a dragon rider's death.
Yeah, yeah, I do feel like she would have gone, she would have rather go in the other way. And maybe it's because she heard also what the doctor was telling Damon, that she said,
Yeah,
nope, I'm going to do this on my own terms. Deuces. I
yeah.
just wonder, I kind of wish that the kids would have had a chance to say goodbye. I don't know, or she would push
Oh,
that goodbye
dude,
thing.
the scene where like you don't hear anything and you hear the music and you just see Damon having to tell his daughters that.
Yeah,
Oh, it's too fucking heartbreaking, man.
agreed. Like,
And Damon, in my opinion, he's not in the wrong. He just walks off.
yeah, I don't think that anything has to necessarily be said at that moment. They can, unfortunately, they see their mother's body on skeleton on the field. Where the hell is Vagar, by the way? He was not there at that moment. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think it was just a moment that they just need the two of them to agree, because you see Bela, she is the one that's crying, and it's like hands and head. And it was the unknown daughter that's just looking out. I think she had like a tear in her eye, but she's the one is like coming to
Hold on.
terms with.
She has to have a name. Hold on.
Yeah,
I,
we need to put some respect on this girl's name.
I hate just calling her the other one.
The unknown daughter. Wait, do we have any viewers? I'm not sure if any viewers know her name, but yeah,
Hold on.
but yeah,
Episode 6. I'm looking this up. She has to
okay.
have a name.
I don't know her name yet, but part of me also kind of hopes that maybe Vagar is going to end up being her dragon.
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
Maybe so. Maybe because since she doesn't have one yet, maybe that'll be her dragon.
Hold on, let's see.
Yeah, we didn't get Baylor's dragon's name either.
So it's Bela and Rhaenyra Targaryen?
Wait, what?
Rhaenyra? Rhaena. Rhaenyra.
Wait, N-A, so maybe it's Rhaena. Rhaena?
Rhaena.
Yeah, I would think that's Rhaena.
Rhaena.
Either Rhaena or Rhaena, maybe.
One of the two. Alright, so at least we know her name. She has a name.
A girl has no name.
No, this one does.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, people. Yeah, a girl does have a name. So it's either Raina or Raina. Okay, so that's cool.
So hold on, I have to bring up my docs page. So then we meet. In my opinion, this guy has to be Littlehand now or Littlefinger.
Mm-hmm.
This man is Littlefinger.
I thought this was. It's so cool, and yet so I'm like, oh, you bet I know this. You're up to no good because Allison literally walks into her room and he's like eating.
He is eating her food and wine.
I'm like, bruh. I'm like, it's like this probably looked too good to simply go to waste. I'm like,
so
good come out of this.
Allison and Lars Strong. Apparently, their relationship has been growing the past 10 years.
Yeah.
He tells Allison that it's true. His brother Harwin is the father. Lars sets some death row inmates free in exchange for burning. Is it Harrenhal? Harrenhal down with Harwin and Lionel in it, and has their tongues cut out. The inmates' tongues.
Yeah.
So the head of the king and Rhaenyra's baby daddy are both dead.
Mm-hmm. And as soon as I saw them together, I had the feeling that nothing good was going to come out of it. And whenever I saw him go down to the criminals, to the inmates, my worst thought was he was going to have the criminals go after the boys. That was my first thought, that he was going to have the criminals go after Jason Luke and try to kill them, and then cut off their tongues so he could never say anything or give him up. However, the second worst case scenario, I guess, is actually what happened. Well, I thought they were going to just jump him on the middle of the road, but I mean, Lionel and Harwin probably could have taken them out easily.
Oh yeah.
But at least Harwin could have, but by ambushing them and pretty much assassinating them while they were asleep. Yeah, that was a smart and wicked move, but it's just so to me.
And you see the look on Allison's face when he tells her what happened. She is very conflicted.
Oh no, he didn't tell her what happened. And this is what I hate about him, but I like about him at the same time. And again, I can definitely see the Littlefinger connection between the two of them, both of them being lords of Harrenhal.
I told you, he is the Littlefinger. We all thought it was Otto. No, Otto was the red herring.
Yeah, he's definitely becoming the Littlefinger in this episode, this series, because I like how when Allison tells him about what happens, and he's like, "Oh, have you heard the news?" And he's dodging. He's not saying that he had anything to do with it. He's just saying, "Oh, well, this is what happened." Like, how they always said the House of Harrenhal was cursed with a curse, and that men would never be safe there, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. Like, it's such a shame that the curse came to my father. Like, and I think it was the line where he says, "Well, my queen make a wish. I do my best to take my best to take care of it. And it's like, in this moment, I feel like Allison realizes like, what the hell have I got myself into? But he's to put her in a position that she just can't walk it back either. It's like, because he kind of has the cards in his hand. Like, listen, if anybody comes after him for killing his father and killing his brother, he's gonna claim that the queen made him do it. And I'm not saying he has any evidence of the thing. Actually, he may have evidence because if you remember, they had like on his cane whenever he went to go see the prisoners, he had kind of like a beetle or like a scarab or something on his walking cane, which I think he gave which he also gave like the three prisoners when they were in their coats, because I know they did like a little close up on the three of them, like when they were waiting on Lionel and Harmon to get back to Harrenhal. So
Yeah.
yeah, Allison's guy has been off a lot more than she can chew, and like she's very super naive at that moment. Like she's like, what? I did not wish this. Like I don't know why you thought this is what I wanted. Like this is not what I wanted. Like, well, he's like, well, I'm sure you're singing for your father now, right? Because and it kind of going back to something that she said earlier in the episode, she she wished that her father was the bad guy. Is because she wished that her father was the hand and that he was back there because it would be finding somebody be impartial to her and to be on her side. Lionel took that ball and said, okay, you want your father back here? I got you. I see you. I'm gonna make sure your father comes back. And this is how he does it. So even though why she doesn't tell him tell him how to get her father back, this is how he does it.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to look up something real quick.
That's
Just
good.
because there was a name I was trying to see if I remember, but I had to go back to YouTube to see what his actual name was. So, um, previously in the episode, we see Lanor. I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep saying his name different ways. So
Hey, Laner. I think I say Laner a lot myself too when I'm
yeah.
talking out.
Uh,
Yeah.
so we see him coming into Rhaenyra's room with Sir Qual Corey.
Yes, for some reason, I'm only going to say, I know you said how it's pronounced, but is it pronounced Cor or Car? Sorry again. I'm sorry for the for listeners. For some reason, I thought Rhaenyra called him Carl.
It's spelled Qarl. So I don't
Carl.
know if that's Carl or if it's Coral.
Coral. You see, I would. I'm just laughing because it reminds me of the Carl meme from like The Walking Dead. But I think it's
Carl.
Coral. For some reason I think it's Carl, but it could be Coral as well with a Q. That's what would make sense. But Game of Thrones sometimes doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So that sets up at the end of the episode where they're training together,
Carl and Laner.
Cara and Laner, and Rhaenyra says that she's leaving Westeros to go back home to Dragonstone.
Well, Dragonstone's still in Westeros. She's leaving King's Landing to
Key
go.
Landing. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Westeros is all of it. Sorry about
yeah,
that.
exactly. No, it's all good. Yeah, yeah. Dragonstone is in is in Westeros. It's just kind of in the, if I remember my map a little
The
bit right,
North.
it's not all the way north, but I think it's kind of in the middle, in like the middle. But like King's Landing is down south.
Yeah.
It's
So at the end of the
middle.
episode, we see Rhaenyra, her family, all heading up to Dragonstone, which my theory may be correct from last episode where I said, now the situations are different. You know,
Mhm.
the king didn't kick out Rhaenyra, but it seems like the war of the Targaryens is not going to be um, Daemon versus Rhaenyra, but it's going to be Daemon and Rhaenyra defending Dragonstone against Alicent, aka House Targaryen.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure if it's just gonna be against if they're gonna be defending or they're gonna try to take over King's Landing because I think it's
I
very
could
clever.
actually see Alicent sending armies to take out
Oh yeah,
Dragonstone.
oh yeah, she could easily do that. She's vicious enough, and then with her little puppet ass bitch. Oh my god, my
Puppet ass bitch!
my Sir Kristen Cole hate is like overflowing right now. He will easily
It's
do that.
over 5,000.
or 9,000, and I would love, and I this is how I wanted to happen. I would want Damon to kill him. I want Damon to kill him in some vicious way, or and have Cyrax, or they'll have
That would
Cyrax's
be a great
retire.
callback to
Yeah,
episode 1 because it was
exactly.
Cole who defeated Damon in the joust.
Exactly. If Cole would lose to Damon on the battlefield, yeah, you beat Damon in the joust. But let's see how it happens on that real
Let's get to
battlefield.
war, buddy. Let's see
Yeah,
what happens.
that's how I want his story in. I hate this guy so much right now. But
So me and my brother just call Kristen Cole Fabio from now on. That is his name. He is Sir Fabio.
oh my god, that's hilarious. That's a good mix between reality and like his real name and who he is on the show now because he's just a spoiler. He's a prick. He's a prick
Funny
like that.
enough, he calls Rhaenyra a spoiled brat.
Yeah, and he's the one
Dude,
that's
you're acting like a bitch.
yeah, 1,000%, 1,000%. But so that's is that your theory for is that your theory for the week? That's gonna be. I completely agree
Yes,
with you on that. I don't know if it's gonna be defending or 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 Damon and Rhaenyra attacking, but I definitely know somehow Rhaenyra is going to know that Allison had some type of hand
I
in
actually
Harwin's
feel
death.
like your theory is right, and Allison's going to end up killing the king.
Oh yeah, there's no she it's like she can't stand Viserys anymore because it was the moment whenever when they were walking back after a small council meeting when Viserys got busted so he's like this come on let's marry the kids off like this would be such a good adventure and she's like
It's a
we
good
can't
idea.
yeah it's a very great idea and if she wasn't so blinded she would do it but she just has she's completely glazed over with jealousy and like she says, you can do what I want, father. As you can do what you want, husband, as over my cold dead body. Once I'm in my cold grave. Now, if she was fucking with any other Targaryen, if they said, okay, fine, somebody else would have killed Alicent at that moment. But Viserys is not that guy. But like I could, if this was Viserys, the youngest one in the future, he would have easily killed Alicent after she talked to him that way. But yeah, I definitely don't think there's no way that Alicent that he's gonna survive the season. I think she'll be the reason why. I
Okay,
don't know
here's
how.
my theory. Here's my theory. Now, one of two things is going to happen.
Mhm.
And I have two theories, so whichever one you think makes more sense, but you can talk about this one as well. One, Allison kills the king. In response of hearing that, the War of Dragonstone, the army of Dragonstone comes and tries to take the throne from Allison, who is now queen. Or, as I was saying, Allison kills the king, and then in order, she takes the throne, and then in order to get back at Rhaenyra for leaving and for all the things, jealousy, everything, she sends an army to Dragonstone, and it is the Targaryens defending their homeland.
I think those are both good, very great theories. I'm not sure which one I think is going to happen. Well, I definitely know Allison is going to. Again, I think I said this from the beginning. I think Allison is going to be the one that ends up on the Iron Throne, at least at the end of this season. But I don't
Wow,
think. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Well, Aegon may be old enough, but he is not in the right headspace to be king right now.
my
Even though
man! If my man was king, he'd be fucking everybody.
Aegon will have so many bastards out there, it would be hilarious. He would literally he would be Robert Baratheon 1.0
Speaking of
pretty much.
bastards, going back a little bit beforehand, I felt so bad for Jace when he
Yeah.
asked his mom if he was a bastard.
Yeah, and she's
Oh,
like, you're a Targaryen.
Targaryen,
That's
that's all
all
that
that
matters.
matters. And now I'm saying, excuse me, ma'am, no, he's actually a Valerian, remember? He's a Valerian. That it was the rule that y'all came up with. Wink wink. But I know what you meant, but that was just a little joke I was saying to the TV. But I did feel
Yeah.
bad for Jason because I'm glad one of the kids is smart because he knew what the real deal was. He knew that was
Yeah,
his
he was
dad.
like, this guy who's always here looks exactly like me.
Yeah. He was just like my brother. he's just our babysitter. He's just the Lord Commander.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. Okay, mom. Okay, I got you. I'm just hope he doesn't go running his mouth over town or anything about that.
Yeah.
Especially now that his dad is dead. So, and again, I do think I'm glad that we're going back a little bit in the episode, folks, but I'm glad to see that he did. I don't think he has any. He respects Laner as well. He still calls Laner his father as well. So
Yeah.
I'm glad they love him. And again, I love how Laner's completely down with everything. But even though I think it was messed up how he just jumped in and called the baby Joffrey. But that's my own personal hate there. But yeah. But
Hey,
to go,
hey,
to go
one good Joffrey. We got
one
the
good
whole
Joffrey.
thing.
Good point. We can have one good Joffrey in the show.
We got to have
But
faith here.
yeah, but to go back to your theory, I can see either one of them happening because I could easily see Rhaenyra going after Alicent once after this if she knows that she killed Viserys if she kills Viserys. However, my other theory could be is once she kills Viserys, Alicent makes put Aegon on the throne, and while Rhaenyra is coming back to while Rhaenyra is on her way back to Dragonstone to claim her birthright, it's gonna be a Cersei type of moment where Alicent is gonna be like, yeah, I know that's what Viserys said, but he didn't really mean that. He was in his right mind. This is the true heir of the Seven Kingdoms. He's the
Do
one
again
who
though.
rules the seven
Do you think,
kingdoms.
which is very interesting because Aegon is at a point where he may want to side with his aunt.
Well, that's a good. Well, I do think he would, but I think he likes his aunt, but he's scared of his mom, and I think it's gonna be the fear that keeps him with
I
his
think
mom.
I think if anything, if Rhaenyra shows him that there's no reason to be afraid, and if they have that bond of like, look, you don't have to be scared of your mom. We have an army on our side. They could get Aegon to join Dragonstone.
I think the one that she needs to go after is Aemon, because I feel like Aemon is the one that he seems the more peaceful, the more docile one. I feel like
Yeah,
he would want to be. However, the bad thing about it is he doesn't hate like his cousins, like his cousins nephews. He's not really a fan of his nephews because his nephews tease him. So I
yeah.
mean, I could see either one of Allison's kids, like either the two sons, either Aegon or Aemon, possibly jumping ship and going to join Rhaenyra. But I feel like Alicent is gonna put Aegon on the throne, and then it's gonna be the moment when Rhaenyra is coming back to King's Landing to take her rightful place. Sir Christian Jackass is gonna be there stopping her and be like, "You have no place here." And then all those same men that bent the knee to Viserys in the beginning of the season and bent the knee to her and that claimed that they would respect her reign. I don't believe they will. And it's gonna be at that moment I think where she's gonna have to go back home and your boy is gonna be waiting like I got your back. I got your back, little niece. And
That gets me wondering though, what side are the Valerians on?
oh,
Because
I don't know
because
because
remember,
mhm.
their daughter married Daemon, a
Mhm.
Targaryen who loves his niece. He could convince them to join their side to fight against everybody else.
Yeah, I definitely think the Valerians would work with like if Corlys and Rhaenys are still alive, which we didn't see them at all in this episode, but I definitely would think that they would fight with Daemon and Rhaenyra because I think
And because with the death of
Yeah,
Lena, um, I keep so many L's in this family.
yeah,
God,
yeah, Laner,
yeah, Laner.
yeah,
Uh, he could take over the Valerian army, and which would
that's
give
true.
them Dragonstone another fleet
Mhm.
of soldiers to defend Dragonstone with.
Very true. And then it seems like it would be almost a losing battle. Well, I wonder what happened to Cyrax. Is Cyrax still in the Dragon Pit? Because I would hope Cyrax came to Dragonstone with Rhaenyra, but we didn't see Cyrax Yeah, Cyrax at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
Yeah, cause, I mean, because Vermax and Cyrax should be in the place with their Dragon Riders. I would
unless
think.
they're at the Dragon Pit.
Yeah, but then unfortunately, the Dragon Pits are in King's Landing, which
Oh, right, it
is
is. Yeah.
is. I mean, that's very well where it could be, but it's just not a safe place because I could easily see Allison sending somebody down there to kill him, or at least to kill
Good,
Vermax.
good luck,
Yeah, I think they could kill the baby one, Vermax, but Cyrax ain't gonna let nobody
dude.
kill him.
Cyrax is not gonna let anybody target target our children.
Exactly. Well, that's true. Well, yeah, unless they have unless they put like under the pretense of they're going to train the dragon a little bit more, but it, I just could see Allison being some kind of conniving and try to take out the dragons. Try keyword
Here's a
there.
question for you: do you think Allison's gonna be as bad as
Cersei.
Cersei?
Yes.
I can't
I,
see it.
I think she'll be as evil, but I don't think she'll be as powerful. And,
See, I
and
can't see it because from episode one of Game of Thrones, we knew what type of character
mm,
Cersei was, and she did not get any better.
mm,
So to me, the fact that they showed how nice and graceful she can be, Alicent,
mm.
early on, I don't think they're gonna have her go so far on the Cersei side.
I see what you mean. Even though I say evil, okay, first of all, me and Cersei had like a very complicated relationship in Game of Thrones because there were moments where I hated her, but then you go to like season 6 with the whole with in the
The
season
shame.
5 saying like I hope you get all their asses. Cersei, take them out, take all of
See,
them out.
see, I didn't feel that way. I hated her from season 1 to season 8. I did not care.
And see, it was also because of what happened to Marcella, also. Because, again, Marcella was the only innocent child in that show. And for the Sand Snakes, I forget her name, but the lead Sand Snake lady to kill that girl like that, I'm like, you know what? I hope Cersei comes for you, and I hope she takes you out. I hope you feel the same pain that you gave to her. And that, I actually felt more that way before Jamie, though. I felt more bad for Jamie than I did for Cersei, but at the same time, like, I wanted Cersei to get vengeance for Marcella, pretty much, which he did. But yeah, so like there were moments where I hated Cersei, and then there were moments I never liked Cersei as a person, but I respected her against it as a character at times because I will never. And I watched this episode this past weekend, like actually Saturday. I will never forget how gangster she was in episode 10 of season 6 with the Winds of Winter. How she poured herself a glass of wine and watched, spoiler alert, people, how she sat in her window and watched the whole Scepter Baylor blow up.
Oh
And just
yeah.
and just drinking the wine. It's like, oh my god, I hate you, and I hate because
Wasn't
you took
that the
out
same episode that after that happened didn't
Tommy. Yep,
Tommen
Tommy.
jump from the
Yep,
same from the same building that
the A gun was whacking out too,
Aegon
but
was
yeah,
whacking it off to?
but yeah, like so long story short, there were moments where I respected Cersei's uh gameplay, her strategy. Because again, when it comes to Game of Thrones, you either win or you die,
Die.
and
Yeah.
she was doing her best to win, and but there was just some moments where I think she took it a little bit too far for no reason. But yeah, I see, and I turn that back around to Allison because I feel like Allison is just gonna get worse and worse with her jealousy, where she's gonna where she's gonna want to do more evil things, but I don't think she's gonna have the power to do so. I think she's gonna need her little lackey, Laris, to go do things for her. While I think Cersei can have command and power to have other people do that.
See, to me though, again, I go back to the point of we got to see the humanity of Alicent. I don't see them taking away that humanity because
I think it's gone, man.
you don't lose that humanity, especially. I think there was one moment in here where we almost saw her break, and that was when Rhaenyra says we're family, but before that we were best friends. and you see the look on her face of the confliction.
I see. I know the moment you're talking about, and I can see like she looked happy for a moment, but then it's when Rhaenyra. I'll say I'll give you that. It's like she had that memory of the good times between the two of them.
She wanted to go back to the good times, and
But then
I think
but then when go
go ahead,
ahead when
go ahead.
Rhaenyra made the proposal about marrying Jace to Helena, then she's like, "Oh, what the hell am I thinking about? No, fuck you, Rhaenyra." And then she's like, and then he's like, "We'll think about it." And then she
No,
goes,
to me, I saw that as yeah, of course it was a power play,
hmm.
but if you had truly lost all humanity in yourself for the past 10 years, you wouldn't have been thinking about the good times you had with your now enemy. There is some
I,
there is
go ahead.
something there in the back of her head that is saying, I want to make up with her, but the rest of it is clouded by jealousy.
Hmm. Yeah, I just don't see. I don't see it coming out again. I don't see it ever going to the getting to the part where she starts to love Rhaenyra again. Or I wish they would just have a damn conversation. First of all,
Yeah,
we could
this
pretty
could
much clear this
all be
all up.
avoided by one conversation.
Yes, that's all they need to do. Talk to each other. But I definitely don't think it's going to happen anymore, especially with Otto, who's most likely on his way back to the show now. Because
You think
with
so?
yeah, because with Lionel dead, I mean, I don't know who. There's nobody else that's on the current that's on the small council right now that I think will be a good hand. I know he won't. I know he's not going to promote
He's not going to
Olenna.
give it to Otto.
I think I think he would give it to Otto because Allison would tell him to give it to Otto, and he's not the same Viserys that he was 10 years ago.
Do you think, and I don't know if he can even do this, do you think that maybe the next hand could be Laenor,
No, because
the son-in-law of the king, who can be trusted?
it could be, but I don't think Viserys is in that mindset to. I mean, he's still smart and at some moments. He's still lucid and stuff. It's just that I don't think I think he's kind of more of a. I'm not even sure what's the proper term for it. Like they know he's the king, but everybody sees him as the king. But I think Allison pulls has a lot of power behind the scenes and in
I
persuading
I don't know
Viserys
how
what to
much
do.
power she has because the king is still set on the marriage. Like
Well, only not to his daughter. He when it comes to his daughter, it's his daughter over everything. But I think when it comes to
and
things,
that's why I'm thinking the husband of his daughter.
well, if he would have done that, he would have done that before. He would have done that before he went to before they left for Dragonstone too.
Fair. Corliss, we haven't seen that man. The
That's
friendship,
true.
the
I,
friendship.
I just wonder if he's still alive though. Like, I mean, I
I
mean
hope he is. I love that character.
it's only been 10 years, so I mean they can't age up completely, but
I mean,
so hopefully they haven't taken them.
somehow the king's alive
Yeah,
with fucking dragon scale. So
yeah, Viserys is still alive, and then Christian Cole looks the same.
how does he
So
look the same?
well, no, I'm sorry, he has a haircut now. I think that was the only difference. And then Larry
And
Strong looks pretty much like he really looks like Littlefinger. Like if it doesn't turn out that somehow his last name becomes Baelish, I'll pay for my life. Maybe he goes across the sea and changes his name to Baelish, and he ends up being Littlefinger's great
yes,
great grandfather.
yes,
There's too much similarity right there. He looks like
dude.
he's a perfect weasel in
He,
this
he
spot.
is a perfect weasel. Yes, he's a perfect weasel.
As a matter of fact,
So
you know what he reminds me of? You remember? Have you ever seen the TV show Recess? The cartoon Recess?
God, years ago.
Yeah. Well, he just reminds me of a character named Randall that will always snitch on the main characters, like to the
That
assistant
yep,
principal, like just perfect Weasley, like. But yet he's just more devious.
dude. I would not be surprised if he gets close to the throne. He's not going to get the throne, but if he gets close to the throne,
Yeah. Now, tell me this: do you think? And here's also another theory. that I kind of have in mind. I think the deaths of Harwin and the deaths of Elena, I think they're pretty much pushing Damon and Rhaenyra together to eventually become
They are.
to be married like in the future, and then their
Wait,
kids basically
to be
stepbrothers.
married?
I think they're going to be marrying each other somehow because
Okay.
both their yeah. Well, you know what? Maybe not. Well, actually, you know what? Maybe married because again, Damon believes in the ways of Old Town. Like I can have two wives, or and then he may believe Rhaenyra can have two husbands. Damon might be. I feel like he has no problem with Laner. I think he likes Laner,
He
especially
does.
how and I said we were mentioned earlier, but his joke that he had with Lena talking like whenever Lena was talking about how Laner has like ridden them and how that Rhaenyra's had another baby. It's like, has anybody did he somehow mention how the baby looks something like coincidentally like the commander of the Night's Watch, well not the Night's Watch, but the Lord Commander of the City Watch? No, surely I butchered the joke, but I just loved how witty that line was between the
To
two.
be honest, I actually don't see Laner minding
No,
Rhaenyra having a second husband because, to be
not
honest,
at all.
he it goes back and forth. I mean,
Yes,
he has a new lover in Coral Corey, which
yeah,
I'm gonna call him Coral right now. If it's Carl, then it's
yeah,
Carl.
that's fine.
So,
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But I do agree
which
with you
by
on
the
that.
way,
Like,
love the little moment at the end when Rhaenyra sees that they're like looking at each other, and she goes, "You can bring him along too. We need
agree.
we need the army." It's almost like she's like, "Yes."
Yeah, like
Almost her feeling guilty over what happened to Joffrey last episode. She's like,
agree.
"You found somebody, bring him along."
Agree. And she says, of course, using it under the. I mean, she completely knows what's going on between her husband and Carl, and then
Yeah,
like you said, she's using it as like, hey, as long as he's loyal to you, he's loyal to me. And
yeah.
like she said, there's gonna come a day where we need all the swords that we can have. And I love how she threw his line back to him. It's like the wise sailor. Where I actually have it written down. I think it was like the wise sailor leaves before the storm ever gets there, and it was the same. Oh yeah, the wise sailor flees the storms as it gathers, or before it gathers. But it's just because it was the same thing that Laner had told her earlier in the episode when they were sitting down, like
Yeah,
after he had came in drunk and stuff. So
dude, he
like,
was wasted.
he was completely wasted, but I love I love their relationship. I think it's their partnership between the two of them.
Yeah,
I think it's
because
great.
it doesn't feel like both of them know what's going on, but they
Yeah.
still love each other. Like they're still cousins and they have love for each other. But it's like we were forced into this marriage. We're not gonna hate each other. We're not gonna
Mhm.
hate the marriage like all arranged marriages is. We're just gonna have fun, and then we're gonna have the face of being this married couple.
Oh, you know what? I just had a horrible feeling of. I have a feeling Chris is gonna kill Laner,
No,
and
no.
and it's only I literally only thought about that because he was very hungry to go back to war, like go back to the fighting, and I think eventually when the Civil War does start, it's gonna be Kristen versus Laner at first, and again just to piss off Rhaenyra even more, he's gonna kill her husband. I think, and
Do you
I
think that will cause Rhaenyra to kill Kristen?
Oh no! I think that's gonna kill. I think that will actually. Now that I'm completely having a whole another theory, I think that's
Again,
gonna what's
please
open.
don't spoil this in the comments for us. We have not read the books.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what's gonna make allow Damon to marry Rhaenyra, and then that I think that would be a powerhouse team between the two of them. Like,
Do you feel like Damon would kill Kristen, or does it have to be Rhaenyra?
no, I think I want Damon to end up being the one to kill Christian, not Rhaenyra, because again, it would just be such a good flip on their fight in episode one
Yeah.
of the
Also,
season.
I feel like it would be a moment where Rhaenyra sees this, she breaks down. Damon is so rage filled because he sees what happened. He sees the love that Rhaenyra had for Laenor, and he goes in and he just goes in like Jon Snow from like season 7, where he has the army behind him. He has the swords up. And he just goes down and kills Kristen for her.
I can see it. I can see it happen. I think it would be a better fight between the two of them, but I do think he'll end up on top. he'll be the one that wins.
Dude,
I think
I would
Kristen.
laugh. I would laugh if like there's no fight. He just comes in and stabs him.
I was just about to say I think Kristen is a better fighter than the crab feeder, but I don't know. We'll see. But I
He
think
pulls the crab feeder.
yeah,
He just walks in, kills him in 2 seconds, and runs.
I just know I'm very nervous about episode 9 of this
Dude,
season.
me too.
Like
Episode
I have no
nine
idea
has
what's
to
gonna
be the
happen.
episode 9 has to be the Targaryen Civil War, right? The actual battle.
I don't think
You
it will be the. I
you
think
would
it'll be
feel
this.
like it.
I don't. I think it's too early to have the complete war yet. But I think something's going to happen, like to completely, like 100% started. Because again, even in the main series, it was the cutting off. Again, spoiler for the main series. It was the cutting and killing of Ned in episode 9, which started the war of the Five Kings and stuff, pretty much. So I think whatever happens in season 9, I mean episode 9 of this season, is going to what's lead to eventually the Targaryen Civil War. And I hope it's
See,
nothing
I thought the
weird.
Targaryen Civil War was going to be the battle of the season. Like we had the night battle in season 7,
Uh,
or the battle of Winterfell in like season 6 or whatever. Where I thought the Targaryen Civil War was going to end in episode 9 and then 10, and then have the fallout of that leading into season 2, where like maybe now Daemon and Rhaenyra are on the throne and they have to rule it from there.
I mean, it could, but I don't know. I think it'll just be the catalyst of the Civil War for in episode 9 this year. But
Yeah,
I have no idea. And people don't let us know.
yeah. Please don't let us know. Z, we again are officially about 17 minutes past the episode time.
Yeah, that's true. Because I'm gonna say this was a pretty long episode too, like the episode of Game of Thrones. But I think it was still like 5 minutes after maybe an hour or something like that. So yeah,
Dude,
we're always
I
gonna be
love I love how I can watch this episode that's like an hour and a half and it just flies by.
agreed. Time has no like
Now,
consequence, pretty much.
I may get hate for this, and maybe I deserve it. There were some seasons in Game of Thrones where some of the episodes felt like they dragged
Oh yes,
so
1,000%.
much.
I won't have to say. I can't tell you how many times when I saw Brand on the show, I'm like, oh my god, are we doing
Yeah,
this
and I'll
again?
say this: there,
And
as much as I agree with Bran being on the throne at the end of the season, doesn't mean I like the character. The character was
that's
so boring.
and there were some moments where, as much as I love Arya, some of the stuff that she was doing over in the house, some of her I mean, her training was necessary, but I don't think it was necessary that we had to see all of it in and I think was that season 6 maybe I think it was.
6, yeah,
Yeah, I'm like
5 or 6, one of the two.
yeah, like some when she was blind and stuff. Like we don't need to see all this. I don't think, but I mean, yeah, but yeah, there's definitely some episodes of Game of Thrones that dragged a lot too.
And I love that almost every character in this show, I love or love to hate.
I agree.
Like, 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 there's no character that I feel bored by, or I don't care about the storyline. There's every story feels like it has meaning to the Iron Throne somewhat, or
I
to
agree.
a war, or to Dragonstone, or I'm able to follow more what's going on because it is centralized to really 1 to 2 families
I
instead of
agree.
Game of Thrones, which is like every family is vying for the throne. Which in the earlier seasons I liked, but as we continue, at least me personally, I get lost when a new name comes in, and I'm like, who is this? Who are they? Why are they doing this? Uh,
Yeah,
Whatever.
to me, it got to the point where I'm like, okay, why do you like? Do y'all really want that throne so much? Like to do all this and like, is it really that necessary? Like, I can see fighting for your freedom, but again, why do you want to sit on that uncomfortable ass looking chair? Like
Dude, it is so uncomfortable.
just to say you're the king or the queen, like But yeah, I will say this again about this series, and I know we'll be closing a little bit, but I'm very curious to find out again whenever it ends. I kind of have a fear, but then again, at the same time, I'm kind of hoping I'm kind of rewriting the books or rewriting shows. Like I wonder is everybody actually dead that we think they are, and what I mean by when I say that is Rhaenyra's sons clearly have brown hair. and they look like they have no Targaryen in them. However, they
Mhm.
really are Targaryen children. They're strong children, but they're Targaryens as well. So
Yeah.
I wonder, are there any people in their bloodline, the three boys, in the future series that we just don't know of? Which means technically there are Targaryens still alive in Game of Thrones. I could be completely barking up the wrong tree and looking at the wrong, like looking at things too broadly, but there's a possibility there's still
I
a Targaryens out there.
I could
And
be wrong, and I probably am. But do you think that one of her children could possibly be tied into Jon Snow potentially?
it
A
very well could
bastard having
be,
a bastard.
but no, well, his father wasn't a bastard. His father was Rhaegar, and it just depends on. I have no idea where his line
If
start,
if yeah, which is what I love. I love the fact that now we're asking questions that Game of Thrones, may have answered already. Where it's like, was Rhaegar really full Targaryen, or was he half strong?
good point. Like because like we're right now we're being led to believe that Dany, Viserys, and Rhaegar, who are children of the Mad King Aerys, all came from Viserys and Alicent's
Mm-hmm.
bloodline. Where it very well could be they came from either Rhaenyra and Harwin Strong's bloodline, or even possibly Rhaenyra and Daemon's bloodline, which we have not explored, which we don't technically know if that will ever
Yep.
happen, but it could. So like we have no like
So
me and
so
you, we have
could
no idea where the film
yes. So
starts.
could Rhaegar actually be either full Targaryen, or could he be part strong?
He could be.
And then that
I
would make
think you're
him
right.
also a bastard who had a bastard in Jon Snow.
Well, yeah, yeah. Technically, would be. Well, he would be a bastard only. Well, no, technically, he wouldn't be because there because he would be the
One
full
second.
son of be the full son of the king. So yeah, Rhaegar wouldn't be a bastard since his father was the king, aka Aerys was the king. I think you're only a bastard is if you get kind of father out of wedlock, pretty much.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
still, the whole idea of like we're not sure what position and what bloodlines are which.
Agree. Yeah, I think that's the cool part about the series right now. I think I know there is a right answer to this. I just have fun speculating what the answer is right now.
Oh
And
yeah,
maybe if the series if they decide to cancel the
I
series after
forgot.
season 2, I might go look at it. I might go look to find out what the answer is myself. But other than that, I like how it's playing with it now.
Yeah, see, I don't want to know anything. I want to go in
Yeah,
this completely clean and be surprised. But again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Damon and Rhaenyra, don't fight against Allison. But I'm pretty sure that's what's going
I'm
to happen.
I'm pretty sure that there's no way I think Damon will fight against Rhaenyra. I think it's gonna be Rhaenyra and Damon versus Allison and Aegon.
Which I love because, again, it shows the love for family that Damon has.
Yeah, and Allison is gonna have her father in Old Town on their side, and their banners to war again with all the green and stuff. But yeah, I think she'll have her fighters on her side, but I think it will be I think it's a perilous fight to go up against at least two dragons, Cyrus and Karaxes. So and then
Yeah?
possibly at that time also Vagar because Vagar is was Lena's dragon.
Yep.
And this Sea Smoke, I'm not sure we didn't see Sea Smoke this episode, but he's out there somewhere. So
Yeah? Dude,
I
I
think
love the fact that the show called House of Dragons actually focuses a lot on dragons.
agreed.
Who would have thought?
Thank God. Yeah, thank God. Right? It's not just the people. It's not the blood of the dragon. We're actually seeing multiple dragons. Now, of course, they're not going to give us a dragon every episode because budget reasons. But I'll
I
take.
mean,
I'll
I
take.
mean, fair enough. The CGI on those dragons are fucking amazing, by the
Yeah,
way.
they look. Yeah, if you can want to give me a dragon every other episode or every other episode, I'm cool with it. But I do like to see them and know they're still there.
Oh, yeah. So, I believe with that, we are going to close up shop an hour and 24 minutes into this. Guys, if you did enjoy this, hit the like button, subscribe to the Nerd Entertainment Network down below. And guys, join us next Monday night for episode 7